Do you think you're the one who's making a difference and want to be here on my show talking about your work? Well, contact me on sheetal@sheetalohri.com or 415-505-9592. On this Sunday morning, I know it's nice and warm. We have with us an amazing guest who will brighten up our station and the show Making a Difference. Her name is Mallika Thoppe. She's an educator, author, and social advocate. Mallika was recognized as a volunteer champion for the year 2021 to 2023 by eVidyaloka, an organization that sets up digital classrooms in rural India. Mallika is also an active volunteer with organizations such as 100 Books Initiative, Santa Clara County Libraries, and West Valley Community Services. She believes in women empowerment and stands up against social injustices. Her book, Unfair and Lovely, is an effort to combat the issues of colorism in society. Let's talk to Mallika and know about her and the amazing initiative she's involved in and her book. So, Mallika, a very warm welcome to Making a Difference with me, Sheetal Ohri, and on being here at our station, Bolly 92.3 FM.
Thank you so much, Sheetal, for the opportunity.
So, Mallika, before we start talking about these initiatives, which, I just told our listeners, my listeners and I would like to know more about Mallika. Not Mallika Thoppe as an initiative person or an author, but let's hear about you and your journey. What is Mallika Thoppe all about?
Of course. Thank you for the question. So I moved to the United States to get my master's degree several years ago. And after getting a degree in computer science, I worked in the IT industry for several years. I also ran a coding camps business for kids for a few years. And then, throughout the years that I was working in the IT industry, I wanted to do more for the community and, specifically for India, because that's where I'm from. I was constantly seeking opportunities that would enable me to, take those type of initiatives on.
So, Mallika, when you were young, was it always that you were into philanthropy and you were always wanting to help out? Was that your basic way?
I'll say that I did not have as many opportunities to help everybody, but at the same time, I recognized that there was sort of a difference between what I had and what everybody else had. So I saw that, just having access to certain opportunities sort of put me in a better place. And I'd say I was inspired by my grandma and my dad to sort of help people from, sort of like the more low-income backgrounds, because they themselves came from, smaller towns in India and so on, and they had sort of, created a better life for themselves. So I just felt that sort of inspired me to want to do my bit to help people in those type of circumstances.
That's amazing. So how did your journey with eVidyaloka start?
So around the time that COVID hit, a friend of mine suggested that since I was interested in taking on initiatives to help India, to look into eVidyaloka. I checked out their website and I found that, most of the classes are obviously conducted during the daytime in India. So I wasn't really sure how it would work with, the time zone differences and things like that. So I just sort of signed up on a whim. And I must say, within 2 days, I heard from them. I was actually teaching in a classroom in 2 days. That was kind of, much quicker than I expected, because I was thinking that there would be sort of like a longer training process, or I'd have to wait much longer. But I was actually very impressed with the organization, because their mission is about helping rural India, and they have it covered in every aspect. They've set up digital classrooms in many schools in rural India, and also these schools they are set up with solar panels. So, as you're probably aware, power cuts are pretty frequent in rural India. But that's something that doesn't, come in the way. So that's pretty much how I got started with Eva Loka.
Okay, that's fantastic. So how long have you been doing this, or did you stop? Or is it still ongoing?
Oh, it's still ongoing. So I started in
Great.
2020. The requirement for volunteers is to teach 2 times a week for a minimum of 3 months. But I found that if I teach just twice a week, the following week, the kids are sort of, I need time to just sort of reacquaint them with what I taught the previous week. So I actually decided to do it 5 days a week. I do it when it's 10 a.m. in India, which is typically either 9:30 p.m. for us or 8:30 p.m. And it takes me, the class itself is an hour in duration. I teach English, and I do it 5 days a week, and I've been doing it since 2020. And that's usually not a bad time for me personally because, I am, my kids are older now, and as a family, I've completed all my duties for the house. Exactly.
As a mother.
Exactly by that time. So we're done with dinner and things like that. So so I figured doing it 5 days a week is actually better for the kids as well as, to be honest, for me, because I can sort of keep going with the curriculum. I don't have to spend any time going over what I taught them the previous week and so on. So so that's how it's been going. And in fact, starting this year, Eva Loka also started summer classes. So what we do is we do more of like a story time format where we go over some stories online and things like that. So it's really heartening for me to see that these kids now have access to an education year round, which would have been impossible without Eva Loka.
Understood. So let's hear about the e-books initiative as well. What was that all about? Or your involvement with even Santa Clara County libraries?
That's right. So 100 Books Initiative is a reading program wherein students read from sort of the most basic level book, which is, book 1, and they go all the way up to book 100. And the books increase in, difficulty, obviously. The key distinguishing thing about this program is usable by kids who don't have English-speaking parents. So, I grew up in Bangalore, and it's, obviously it's the metro. Everybody speaks English. So I had sort of the luxury of, reaching out to my parents for help. Whereas kids in rural areas don't have that. And a lot of times, they have these textbooks that are for their level, but they have no idea what the textbooks mean. So this reading program, what it does is when the kid reads a book, there's also there's a program called Quizlet, which is basically like a flashcard program, which I'm sure a lot of parents of kids are aware of. So they complete Quizlet sets as well as read each book, and the Quizlet sets have meanings of the words in local languages. So essentially, it helps them understand the book. And as a volunteer, and this is, by the way, done all through WhatsApp, which is also another cool thing. I mean, being here in the US, I'm able to create, an impact in India, which is fantastic because of all these technologies. So they send me their, recordings of their readings, and then I correct them, or any volunteer basically who volunteers with 100 books corrects them and sends it back. And then, they go on to the next book. So you would think, in this day and age, I mean, this just sounds like such a long drawn process. But to be honest, it's been so impactful because I actually had separately volunteered with this program, but I brought it to the school that I teach at through Eva Loka, which is this a school in rural North Karnataka. And my students show up at 6 a.m. in the morning just to read. And they are they're on a roll. Like literally, we started, I think, about 4 to 5 weeks ago. And there's one kid who's at book 75 already. So I mean, to be honest, my students keep me motivated. It just makes my job really easy because they want more of it. So I'm willing to give more.
These are such amazing initiatives, Malika. So tell us a little bit of the background. I mean, how many schools are there? And, how many students eVidyaloka caters to?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So eVidyaloka was founded in 2011. They have introduced their program to over 700 schools in 15 states. There are over 6,000 volunteers from all over the world that volunteer with eVidyaloka. And the program has reached about 200,000 kids, which is amazing. Primarily in grades 5 through 10, teaching math, science, and English. Volunteers do need to be fluent in at least one Indian language because, these schools are in rural areas. So that's sort of a key point. The other initiative I talked about, 100 Books, they are currently in almost 15 schools. They were founded in 2017. The number of books read by all the students combined, almost 20,000. So, really, really both programs doing a great job with, literacy in rural areas of India.
Thank you. So going back to your current work and your book, let's hear about that. I know you're very much into standing up for rights and social injustices. So let's hear about that side of Malika. I'm sure my listeners and I would love to know, what is it that makes you get upset on all the why the colorism? So let's hear about that.
Of course, yes. So a little bit of a background on how I got into writing. So because, I have my students through eVidyaloka and I teach English, I created some basic grammar books for them. And then I got together with a friend of mine who actually volunteered with me at a micro-lending organization, and she had taken up an illustrator course. So we sort of wanted to do a little bit more for society, and we decided to create a book that tackles the issue of colorism in Indian society. So, it's sort of one of those open secrets that there's a deep obsession for fair skin in our society. It's evidenced by, the multitude of fairness skin cream ads that we see on a daily basis. As well as, how Bollywood portrays fair skin as something that's to be desired as well. So, I thought about the type of impact this has on a dark child in Indian society that's growing up, watching these ads, constantly being told that they're inadequate just because of something they can't really control. And honestly, they shouldn't have to. I mean, there's really nothing wrong. And, the reason you are dark or fair just is completely controlled by the amount of melanin in your skin. That's really what it comes down to. So we decided that we'd create a children's book. It is for 8 years and up, 3rd grade and up, basically. It's called Unfair and Lovely. And essentially, it is, it is sort of, we see it as an eye-opener for those who think that colorism doesn't exist in society, as well as sort of, a self-esteem builder for those who may have been subject to colorism. And, trust me, there's a huge section of society that is, and this is why the book was created. This is why it was born. So essentially, we published it on Amazon. It's available on the Kindle as well. It is at many Indian libraries and schools. Locally, it's at the Santa Clara City Library and some of the local bookstores. Since when I created this book, I've been invited to speak at schools and on podcasts and things. I did a presentation at Harker Lower School. And then I'm also involved in a colorism conference that started last year. So, I'm really hoping that this book serves as a tool that helps those victimized by colorism. And I hope we see the end of it. I mean, to be honest, I think when people don't need my book anymore is when I would consider it a success.
That's fabulous. Understood. So Malika, going back to your local initiatives, let's hear about that. Tell us, what are you involved in currently, and how can people get involved with you as well?
Sure. So locally, I'm an active volunteer at West Valley Community Services. It's a food pantry that is located in the Cupertino area. Essentially it serves the low-income families as well as homeless people in this area. So that is what I do sort of, during the daytime. And of course, prep for my classes and things like that. I also do just so I am an effective educator with my, classes in India. I also do English tutoring through the Santa Clara County Library, as well as another program called Engine, which is to tutor students in Ukraine. So in order to get involved with these initiatives, I would suggest that folks check out, their corresponding websites. Just Google eVidyaloka. And as I mentioned, the commitment is just 2 days a week for a minimum of 3 months. And given that we are actually blessed to be in California because the time zone difference works out perfectly, if I were in the East Coast, it would be tougher to do this. You can expect, though, to spend an hour a day in addition to the class, prepping for the class, because the content needs to be tailored to your students. It's not like there's something that you can easily use as such, but that's what makes it fun, to be honest. And then 100 Books Initiative as well is online, and that's on WhatsApp. You can volunteer through WhatsApp. You can do it on your own time. So that makes it, easily, it's easy to kind of squeeze into people's schedules, even if they're busy. So yeah, that's pretty much where they would look, and people can, I wouldn't mind if people reach out to me as well. I mean,
let's have your social media handles or any website or anything you want to give out.
Sure. So my website is my first and last name, Malika Tope, www.malikatope.com. And there are 2 L's in my first name, and the last name would be Thoppay. My socials, people can reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'm at Unfair Lovely Book, or Malika MT, which, again, my name would be 2 L's. So I'm happy to respond to, I'm happy to address any queries that people might have.
Well, thank you so much, Malika. We appreciate your time. We appreciate what you're doing right now. And we wish you the best and hope to have you back with us soon, discussing more of these amazing initiatives you're involved in.
Thank you so much, Sheetal, for the opportunity. And I'm hoping to see more people involved in, these initiatives.
Thank you. And listener, I will be back next week talking to yet another interesting guest or guests who are making a difference. Till then, have a fabulous week ahead. Do you think you're the one who's making a difference and want to be here on my show talking about your work? Well, contact me on sheetal@sheetalohri.com or 415-505-9592.